And a very quick moment that I think it is. I believe we're set.
Yeah, did you enjoy that?
Yeah, that
Did
was
you
a great
enjoy that little
moment.
break?
I love that moment. That was about 3 seconds, so it was all the more moment I ever needed. So we're switching over to Turkey versus Italy, a match in the losers bracket. Round 1, as you can see, Turkey ahead, surprisingly, I think to many, 2-1 so far. This is the second pick for Team Italy. And we get to see free mod 1 twice in a row. This time, the stakes aren't quite nearly so high.
I mean, they could be. You never know. This could be the map that decides it. Never say never. That's what I say. But yeah, getting into this, we have interesting mod options. Slight overmod here from Turkey with Gilrain and Shinkiro on the hard rock for them, and of course Orke with that break there, who is on the hidden, up against a very minimal mod choice from Ekli and Kirochi on hidden hard rock respectively. And we've got some breaks coming in thick and fast here. Gilrain and Ekli going to have a bit of a trade up, but that is favouring Italy at the moment.
Yeah, it's, you switch over from the winners bracket to the losers bracket, and I think you can typically see in most cases why teams are in one side or the other of the bracket. The skill gap from the top to the bottom of this tournament is still relatively noticeable. So expecting the scores in this match to be a little bit lower overall, but it still should be a very competitive one. This Italy roster, I think, leans really, really hard on Kirochi and on Arj, or Oh My God. Well, I don't know why he decided a name to that, but there we are. It's Arj. I'm just going to call him Arj. Whereas Turkey lost a bunch of their top players, right? They don't have Raikoho this year. They don't have Egemen Bisarmis this year. But still a decently solid roster with, guys like you see on the screen, Hironi, Gilrain, Shinkiro, some of the notables from that roster. But this just looks like Italy very much more comfortable on this pick, as they have a double FC on Arj and Giulio. Near a double FC, I guess, as Arj breaks late. And, okay, all right, I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah, that hasn't gone well for you on that one. But that's okay, they're going to bring home the point. No doubt about that. At this stage, it's too far gone for Turkey on this one, but that's okay because everything is even Stevens now. As everything is in balance.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. 2-2 goes the scoreline. Italy taking their second point. All four picks so far have been won by the team selecting them, so clearly well within kind of their own skill sets to start this match off. And it appears that Turkey just knows what they want to do, because that was a very fast double time 3 pick. They did first. They're playing the Russia strat here. It looks like they went Senya DT with the DT2 first pick, DT1 as their second pick, and now they're picking the remaining DT3. So very obviously Turkey feeling that speed is the skill set that is very favored to them, and so far so good in that regard. But they'll run out of speed after this one, so even if they win it, they'll have to switch it up. And then we'll get to some more interesting stages of this match, I suppose.
Yeah, I think looking at this, both teams, they know what they're going for. Just, to go over some of the bans as well. We had Nomad 1 banned out from Turkey, which, I'm always going to disagree with, because I love seeing the Nomad 1 played. But Nomad 2 as well will be banned from Italy. So maps 1 and 2, very understandable. They're sensible bans, very, very targeted for certain weaknesses on this team.
It feels like there have been a lot of Nomad 2 bans this week. I don't know if it's just the teams or if it's something about that map. People do not have much interest in playing this week's Nomad 2. But there's plenty of other options in this pool that I think are nice maps and good songs, so, it happens.
Not missing out.
DT3, of course, we've seen this several times. Got some streams, got some bursts. I feel like has a fair amount of overlap between this and the DT2, but this one's almost 30 BPM higher, so that speed requirement gets ratcheted up just a bit. And if you are at all lacking in that skill set, you're going to have a rough go of things.
Yeah, it's interesting actually that Turkey are playing so much speed this week. After sort of looking at, last week's performance, they didn't play any speed at all. They stayed very much away from it. So it's an interesting decision to go into DT this week against Italy, but it must be understandably a much more targeted choice comparatively to last week. So it was an early break for Mikatsu there.
Yeah, right in the beginning. So same for Heironi, actually breaking the first 30 combo, and Rejax and Ryuzaki both breaking early on for Italy. The consistency not quite where you'd want it to be on this pick for these teams so far, as Heironi with another break. And he's all the way down at 91% AC, which is kind of shocking considering that this was their pick. 93 on Gian Foil. Not really sure what to make of this one so far, but fortunately for Turkey, Italy is not having a super great time either, and you've got, Ryuzaki and Arj doing what they can, but Zephyrex and Mikatsu are matching. Can I just talk about the accuracy in this lobby? 92, 93, 95, 94, 96. The last match we saw 98s and 99s basically across the board.
I mean, it's pretty good if I was playing, but maybe these guys might want a bit more on this one. As Heironi rejects Ryuzaki and Mikatsu all find resets here. They will start the combo builder again.
That's so advantageous for Turkey though, with Zephyrex and Gian Foil still holding on to those big full combos. Arj doing what he can, but he's only able to match one of them. That lead is going to just barely hold out for now on that Turkey side. And there goes Arj, and now that's going to run away. And good job, Turkey. You held 2 FCs longer than the other team did, now you win. Congratulations! Oh wait, Zephyrex breaks. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Gian Foil just brings this home. Yeah, even though he only has 93 AC, he has an FC, so it's fine.
Yeah, there's no way this is an A rank, right? There's no way he drops enough AC to turn this into an A rank at the end. Don't do it to us,
It's gonna be close, man. 93 AC is pretty close. Let's find out. Here we go into the results screen. And it is an A rank. Okay, we have an A rank FC on DT3 for the first time I have seen this week. But the more important part there, of course, is that Turkey takes the point by a very comfortable 620k margin, and they take the 3-2 lead into Italy's next pick.
Oh, yeah, looking at this, you can see that Italy are definitely expanding their horizons in what they pick, trying out different awkward aim the best that they can. But it'll be interesting to see what they go into. I'm curious whether they're going to maybe dip their toes into No Mod 3, perhaps. Very sort of awkward aim. No, they're not. They're going to go Hidden 2.
So this is like the trend, right? If your opponent is a super speed-focused team, if you see your opponents picking, historically, No Mod 5, DT2, DT3, obviously No Mod 5 gone, Free Mod 2 now, you just say, all right, we're going to pick stuff like No Mod 6 and Hidden 2. Because the overlap between those skill sets, especially on, kind of the lower-seeded teams that aren't as deep, is typically next to non-existent. So Italy saying, all right, you guys can pick your mechanics. We're going to pick our niche skill sets. So we're going to go from a speedy tapping-focused DT into, kind of the reading and more rhythmic Go AR Hidden.
Yeah, it's this one is actually one of the maps we do actually have sort of a comparison on. Both teams played this last weekend, and based on the scores, you can definitely see why Italy have gone into this one. They've got about 800k difference last week, so if they had played, it would have been very favourable for Italy. So I think they are relying on that information for this one. But whether it was an underperformance from Turkey, I think I would say so. I definitely think I would expect a little bit more from Turkey on a hidden map, but we'll have to see how they do on this one.
Yeah, I will admit that Turkey, for me, is a little bit of a lesser-known quantity, especially with the players that are missing this year who were a little bit better known in tournaments. Whereas, Italy has several players that you're going to be familiar with. They have this pretty solid core roster for maps like this, where they have, Hirochi, Arj, and Shadow Modico, formerly known as Dem. Just very strong, well-rounded tournament experts, as it were. Folks who play a lot of tournaments and thus will typically be experienced in a lot of different skill sets. So, not as sure what to expect from Turkey on a map like this, especially, where it's less about the mechanical difficulty of it. But we'll get in, and we'll see how it ends up going for the players. Italy looking to even things out at 3-3. Turkey looking for the first break point of the match, which would give them a match point advantage as well.
Yeah, and if you looked at this match on paper, you'd be very surprised to see how this is going so far. Turkey being the 31st seed in this tournament. They are making Italy work for this one, as Italy will find a break there.
That's one of the cool things about kind of the growth of tournaments in general. Some of these lower seeded teams, at least relative to each other, have gotten stronger. The top tier teams are still the top tier teams, as we see that break from Shadow Modico, giving the lead a little bit heavier over to Turkey. But these teams, kind of in that 24 to 32 range, are very competitive with one another, and even with teams just above them, as ZephyrX becomes the first break for Turkey. Is still to their advantage, though, with 3 FCs to 2. But there goes Heyroni. Oh, goodness. Okay, ZephyrX, Heyroni, Arj, and Ekli all breaking. Again, to the advantage of Turkey. Shinkiro and Orke holding a double FC against Kirochi and Shadow Modico holding 1 FC and 1 half combo. And we're already going to be getting into the last quarter of the map. This one is very short, and Turkey has put themselves in a position where all they need to do is hold on a little bit longer, and that's not going to happen. Shinkiro the next break. Okay, all right, this is scary.
Oh boy, we're getting into this now. Kirochi trying to pull it over for Italy. Does manage to at the end. Can he hold on to it, though? Does need to hold.
Oh, it's breaks everywhere. It's breaks left, right, and center. Ekli, though, has a 230 combo coming into the ending. That should be enough for Italy to hold on. Kirochi put them in the lead, and Ekli held on to it. And that was quite the contested ending, with breaks all over the place. But Italy managed to do just enough to win by a deceptive 200,000 points, because it was much closer than that.
That got the heart going. I tell you what. Very understandable next pick from Turkey. This is just like the last match we just saw.
It's the same.
It's literally the same. They know what they're going for. It's crazy.
Turkey picked all 4 of the same maps as Russia did, dude. Oh man, they're just budget Russia or what? That sounds more rude than I mean it to be, but Tamarsh, I want to remind you and everybody else, what happened when Russia picked Free Mod 2?
It didn't go well, did it?
It didn't go well for them. The least, perhaps, speed-focused of the speed maps was the one that they lost. It doesn't predict anything. They're completely different matches. I just want to throw that factoid out into the universe so people are aware of it.
So when those players, if they break, just know it's not on us. All right, it happens. All right, it's not our fault. Okay, maybe we casted the last one and that's fine, but it does happen. So maybe this will be the wrench in the works that Italy have been looking for. But again, you still have to favour Turkey because they've picked these maps for a reason. Just as Russia did before, they know the strategy, and they are trying to speed abuse this Italy team. And Italy, they've got to find a response somewhere.
It's wild to me that you can speed abuse all the way to tiebreaker, because if the other team bans one of the tapping maps, there's still basically 4 others. You know, the No Mod 2 ban, and then there's all 3 DTs in Free Mod 2. And that takes you to tiebreaker since it's best of 9. If you are able to gap on that skill set. Normally doesn't feel like much of an issue because typically these maps are pretty contested, but if one team is really that much stronger on the skill set than the other, you can end up in situations like this. But we'll see what happens. We saw Indonesia pull a break point on Free Mod 2. Maybe Italy can do the same, as there's early breaks coming in from ZephyrX and from Heyroni. It's very, very early goings, but it is a bit of an advantage for Italy.
Exactly the same as how the last one started. I'm terrified.
Where's the script writers, man? We gotta get some new people, some new ideas. Who did this table read?
I know, they printed the exact same thing. I'm looking at it, just doesn't change. Next few maps, it's not going to change. E-foil will find another break. Oh god, it's going the same way.
It's happening. We just need to embrace it. Alright, there was a break from Ryuzaki on the side of Italy, so I mean, it's not like it's over yet. But Kirochi, Arj, and Shadow Motoko with those FCs. Now, if Mikatsu breaks or something, then, like, it's actually just doomed, but there's still time. This is, you know, over 3 minutes long, and there go Ryuzaki, Shadow Motoko, and Kirochi. Oh, dear. Alright, maybe it's not exactly the same. We'll see. Well, Heyroni falls a couple times, but Mikatsu and ZephyrX have large combos, and there's not a lot Italy can do about it. Italy has to just hope that Mikatsu and or ZephyrX break. And if they want to be able to maintain this lead. Arch is matching Mikatsu, but ZephyrX has a free 700 combo. Ginfoil has a free 460 combo. This gets a bit scary here. Second half of the map gets a little harder, has some tricky patterns, has that brutal ending.
Ginfoil gonna be slowing it down though for Turkey to pull this over. ZephyrX and Mikatsu both need to hold. There goes ZephyrX.
Those sliders, man. Those awkward slider velocities can get you. Kirochi and Shadow Motoko break, but it really doesn't make much of a difference as Mikatsu and Heyroni versus Arj and Ryuzaki. That's the 2v2 that we need to be watching out for, and Heyroni is going to be breaking. So if Kirochi can hold... Oh, did not... sorry, Kirochi broke. If Arj can hold against Mikatsu, and he doesn't... Uh-oh. Mikatsu comes into the ending with an FC that's going to bring this over to Turkey.
Still got to hold it, though.
It's... Oh, ZephyrX. Oh, Mikatsu, wait. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Kirochi's back on some combo. Ryuzaki has some combo as well, but Ginfoil and Heyroni are matching. This is dead even. Ryuzaki finds a break. It's possible to actually lose score on the very end if you're not careful, though. That end is so hard. But it's going the way that Turkey needed, but not anymore. Heyroni will break! We're going to come into the hard ending. If Kirochi can hold on through this, he's going to be able to come back over to Italy's side. They're going to get a break point out of it if they can hold.
Kirochi breaks, no!
But Arj holds as well. Is it enough from Arj to bring this back? It's not. Oh. It's 20k, and Turkey holds. And they go up 4-3 match point. I don't know. I don't know. That was scary. That was scary.
Oh,
Oh man.
God, you can't write stuff like this. I mean, that is just ridiculous. Any other break there, and anything could have changed that outcome. Literally anything. That's how close that was at the end.
Okay. Well, if you weren't awake yet, if you weren't feeling alive and raring to go, probably will be now, because that was certainly a map that occurred in the OWC video game. And now it's last pick Italy in the position that Indonesia found themselves, with last pick trying to force tiebreak. It's gonna be Hidden 1, the site of the last battle for this match. Radiate by Enter Shikari. This is a map that I don't think I've personally seen played yet this round. I think this is gonna be the first time for me seeing this one.
Yeah, I mean, this is very much, it's a very the biggest thing to watch out for with this map is its length. It is such a long map. Start to push it into the realms of tiebreaker with the length of this. 4 minutes 26 seconds of relatively high BPM, but it's reading mixed with aim to make this interesting stance. And I think, well, actually I don't know what I think really, because Italy or Turkey I think have the potential to win this one. I'd put it in favor of Italy simply because I think they might be stronger on Hidden. But other than that, I really don't know how this could go because of the high BPM elements of this map. Could also benefit Turkey.
Well, if we can look back over the course of the match, Italy won on Hard Rock 1, which is quite aimy, quite consistency focused. They won on Free Mod 1, which is awkward aim. And they won on Hidden 2, which is, of course, reading. So you kind of put those skill sets together. There's some reading in this, there's some awkward aim in this, and there's a lot of consistency in this. And it makes it look, on that basis, like a pick that should be favored towards the side of Italy. But I think one thing that you can't ignore is the fact that once you're on map number 8 in a best of 9, all bets are kind of off because the nerves are playing a role and the stress of a long match is taking its toll on players. Also, this map just throws you right into the intro. Like, there's no time to settle into this pick. Here are some big back and forth jumps in the first combo. It looks like Turkey is going to come out ever so slightly ahead in terms of combo through the first little bit of this map, with the early breaks from Ekli and from Giulio.
Again, they've got the accuracy on their side. Let you see Shakira being the first one to really drop a significant combo there, alongside Heironi there. And despite a break from Kurochi there, Italy still hold the lead. When looking at combo, they probably shouldn't, but they are because of accuracy, really.
Let's see, that's gonna... Boy, okay. That's a lot of breaks. Zephyrix, Shinkuro, Hiroshi, Giulio. The accuracy actually fairly even, I think, at this point, right? Just the 95 on Zephyrix hurts Turkey a little bit. But other than that, quite even. Combo very, very closely matched as well. And solo section.
I love how the score bar is actually the score difference bar is jamming out very much to this map as the teams keep the score very close.
It is going all sorts of back and forth here. Boy, Imagine that this score stays this close and we go into the ending, which is basically this again, where it's just all sliders. A slow slider! Another slow slider!
Oh my
and
god.
the score is like 20k. This is...
Someone actually shakes out of the circle range. Because they're that nervous. You could see it happening.
Happy Stick Spring Tour 2017, Lee Jung-hyun shook off of a slider at the very end of... oh gosh, I forget the map offhand. It was at the end of a map and ended up losing by like 5k. So that has happened in the past. Players with bad shakes. This is staying very close. Russia, what am I saying? Italy has a slight advantage. Now it's a bigger advantage. Orke and Zephyrex both fall at the same time, and Orke had a pretty decent combo. It is Arge and Ekli leading the way. Julio and Hirochi just behind, and those leaders have now fallen. Heironi and Shinkiro actually, I think, do have a bit of a combo advantage over Hirochi and Julio. It's not by much. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh,
danger for Italy. Okay, let's danger for Italy.
Yeah. The drop there.
Oh god. The lack of overall consistency for a lot of the players on this makes it a much more volatile sort of pick. Because people just aren't holding combo. Except for Kirochi and Shinkiro. Kirochi, who is arguably maybe the best tournament player in this entire match. In general. Putting on the performance that's needed for Italy to try to force the TB here. And it should be enough to hold off Shinkiro as long as we don't see a complete collapse. There goes Shinkiro. That's going to do it.
Yep.
As we go into the slow ending, Italy has combo lead. This is the rest of the map, is just these slow sliders. So this is decided. We're going to go to a tiebreaker, because of course we are. This day is crazy.
Round of 16 for you. I mean, it's just that round of the weekend where anything can really happen. And yeah, the slow sliders really kind of set the tone for what we're about to go into.
So there we go. Another tiebreaker. It's forced by Italy. Beautiful cure. 6-minute Jonathan LFJ. And I think worth noting is the fact that this is like 219 BPM. And Turkey has been notably better on the faster maps in this pool than Italy. But it's a tiebreaker, so I mean, you know, once again, kind of all bets are off once you get to this stage of a match. It's really hard to predict with any degree of certainty how something is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how you look at this map. You know, there's the aim consistency part, which is like, oh, Italy then. But then there's also the high BPM sections where it's like, oh, okay, Turkey then. And you kind of go, well, wait, hang on. You just pick both of them. And to that, I say yes.
I suspect we'll probably see the little tactical timeout if they have it available before we go to the tiebreaker, because nerves. Players want to be able to maybe get up and run a lap around their house to shake off some of the nerves at this stage.
Couple of press-ups just to warm up the arms again.
Yeah. Take a quick restroom break if needed.
It will be needed. Before and after, probably.
And just to, as a side note here, while we're going to be in between for a minute or two, over on the mainstream, of course, Germany versus Philippines is ongoing. Looks like Germany's ahead 4-2 in that one. Did drop a couple points. Philippines looking pretty strong this year, but Germany you know, they're still going to do Germany things. So they're looking to close that out. It is the Philippines pick next. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Down over on Twitch OWC Live. It's been a crazy day so far. I mean, this is like, we had all these matches in the morning, and we got, you know, the Australia-Romania reverse sweep. We got France-Hong Kong tiebreaker. We had Russia-Indonesia, with Indonesia making that dramatic comeback attempt that was just snuffed out at the last second. And now we have Italy forcing a tiebreaker here against Turkey. The lower-seeded team ahead the entire time. This is an OWC that is really coming through in terms of match quality.
Yeah, it's really going to open things up once we get into the... and the thing is, we've still got plenty of matches left. We've got, what, 4 matches left that have some very close contests, to be honest. It's not going to let up. I think we're going to see a couple more tiebreakers today.
Yeah, we get Spain-Ukraine. That is, I think, going to be very, very close. Chile-Norway also should be quite close. Poland-Brazil is the one where I would say there's a definite favorite, because Poland looks very, very good this year. And then Canada-United Kingdom. Despite Canada being the 4 seed and being really strong, I do think with how solid UK looked last week, and this still being a fairly early stage pool, and them having a really good speed roster, I think UK could make that one closer than it might look on paper. So, gonna have some good matches in the afternoon block once we get through this kind of frenetic, fast-paced morning where we have 5 matches within, you know, an hour of each other start time. With all that said, I believe the players are ready. We are prepared to go into our second tiebreaker here of the day. It's going to be Turkey running Mikatsu, Zephyrex, Heironi, and Gilrain, with Italy running Kirochi, Arj, Shadowmotoko, and Giulio. Italy, the 18th seed, looking to avoid the upset at the hands of 31st seeded Turkey. Both teams that have historically found themselves, I think, in this kind of, you know, 17 through 32, bottom half of the results, but always scratching and clawing their way to try to find wins like they're doing today.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we are just looking at one team trying to best another. And I can also now say with confidence that Germany-Philippines has just ended with a 5-2 victory on Philippines pick.
And poor Henry, top scored the last 2 maps and lost both of them anyway. Poor guy.
Oh.
Attempted the solo carry, didn't work out for him. Good job to Germany. I mean, expected, but Philippines made him work for it. Just like these 2 teams are making each other work for this one.
They are sweating buckets.
I can't imagine. This situation is so difficult to be in. You know, it's like playing a 3rd or 5th set tiebreaker in a tennis match. You just have to shake off any nerves, have to ignore what's happened previously, and just focus on, you know, the next point or the next pattern, whatever, you know, your particular field of play might be.
Yeah, and it's all you can think about as well. Is it's always in the back of your mind, whether you're playing or watching. Every break, just watching your team. Like Gilrain there will be the first drop of this tiebreaker.
And this is so long. You know, obviously as a tiebreaker, it's going to be relatively lengthy, but this one is fairly long even by tiebreaker standards. You know, normally it feels they're, you know, around 5 minutes. This one all the way at 6 minutes. And so you can never feel comfortable with a lead. And that's a break from Mikatsu. It's traded back by Giulio. Gilrain, as mentioned, the earlier break. 3 FCs to effectively 2. Heironi, I believe, broke, or slider broke right at the beginning. Make that just 1. There goes Zephyrex. Not what Turkey wanted, and this is where I think the slightly higher skill cap of Italy is going to come through. This tiebreaker is quite difficult, despite a couple people's opinions to the contrary, and that is a full reset now for Turkey. They have no FCs left. Not what you want to see, only less than a quarter of the way in. A triple FC for Italy against no full combos from Turkey.
Again, Shadow Modico, though, are going to be finding a reset, so that's going to hurt Italy a little bit more. But Zephyrix finding another reset. I mean, this is the thing. It's the hardest map in the pool, and you're really, really pushing that difficulty range and the skill cap, and you know, that might actually benefit Italy slightly. Henry and Kirochi here powering through. Gulio on a good supporting combo as well. Turkey just got Mikatsu now, and Gilrain with those bigger combos, but it's not really going to change anything as long as Italy continues to storm through with a trade-up between Shadow Modico and Heironi.
Italy will be okay with those trades on those lower combo players. It's really all about Mikatsu, Gilrain, Kirochi, and Arj. As we've kind of said throughout this match, Kirochi and Arj, probably the two best known tournament players who have the most experience in these sorts of situations on the side of Italy. So they're the ones you really do need to be in this position on a tiebreaker where they're holding down those big combos with really solid accuracy. And it's giving Italy what's that, 250,000 point lead. You want Shadow Modico and Giulio, if you're Italy, to build some combo up, which Giulio has done, Shadow Modico is not, because you are getting some backing combos starting to be built up by Turkey, and if you find misses on those big combos for Italy, this can get a little scarier in a hurry, especially once we start to get into the back half of this map. But for now, Italy in a pretty good spot.
Shadow Modico going to be finding another reset there. So no support coming in, but Giulio, Kirochi, and Arj all holding so far for Italy. As Turkey try their very best. Gilrain, Arj going to be finding resets, and Giulio as well. That's really, really bad if you're Italy right now. As I think... No, it's not quite, is it? Italy still hold combo advantage, I think.
Yeah, thanks to Kirochi holding the FC still, Italy maintains a little bit of a lead. Mikatsu and Heironi, though, are looking to make this very interesting, because if Kirochi breaks, then it's a really bad spot for Italy. But it has to come relatively soon, because you're going to be running out of time for as long as this map is. It does have an ending, and it is going to slowly be coming into focus. It's going to be slowly coming into vision of these players. We're headed into the last quarter. You can see the scores. You can see what's left for the score. Kirochi has, 300k plus score left to possibly build up. Mikatsu has a significant proportion of that as well with that big 1500 combo. But it's a 300k lead for Italy, and it's not really coming down any too fast with the difficulties that Zephyrix and Gilrain are having.
Oh, Heironi going to be dropping. I think that will be the final lane in the column for Turkey. Even if Kirochi had broken now, it wouldn't be stoppable here. Without that support from Heironi. Giulio trying to hold on to things, but...
There goes Mikatsu, that's it. If it wasn't over yet, it is now. That's going to be the end of things for Team Turkey. And Kirochi with the tiebreaker performance of a freaking lifetime. 99 plus AC FC for at least 2300 combo, and doesn't look like they're going to have any plans on stopping soon. Just, FC the tiebreaker for good measure. Just bring drama to everything. It looks like that's going to happen because this is a little slow ending. Kirochi will full combo the tiebreaker to lead Italy to victory 5-4 over Team Turkey. That is a remarkably clutch performance from Kirochi. Solid backing scores from Arj and Giulio. Italy got what it needed there on that tiebreaker, and they advance onward in the losers bracket. Turkey are eliminated from OWC World Cup 2022, and Italy will move on to face off against China next week in losers round 2. What a play from Kirochi, though.
I mean, it can't be understated. You know, no drop slider ends, no nerves, just went in and absolutely performed when needed. That's the sort of thing that can change the outcome of a match, and to be honest, it did here. Italy, they have not had the smoothest ride so far, but they finally get a reprieve with a victory 5-4 in their favour. Commiserations to Turkey. As the 31st seed, they have had one hell of a tournament, despite it being 0-2 for them. And I look forward to seeing them next year, perhaps even stronger.
Yeah, if they can bring back Raiko, they can bring back Egemen, and keep, you know, kind of the players that made this roster so strong this year. Turkey always a team that is dangerous as far as lower seeds go, but Italy was just not to be denied, and so they managed to take the win and move onward. That is the end of our B stream for this week. Things get a little more normal now the rest of the day. Matches every hour on the hour for the next for the next, I guess, 3 hours? Next 4 hours? They go for a while. There's 4 more matches. But that's going to be it for OC Live _2 for round of 16. We've seen some crazy action, though, on this and the main channel. This has been a pretty insane Sunday morning of OSU.
And there's definitely more to come over on the main, so I'd head all over there where Spain and Ukraine, they're kicking things off for us. So we said it was going to be a close one. Definitely don't want to miss that one. Of course, thank you, TMG, for joining me once again. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to cast with you.
Absolutely. Likewise for you. It has been a fun morning. Hope everybody has enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. As Demar said, head on over to the main stream. You got 4 matches lined up back to back to back to back for the rest of your Sunday as OWC 2022 round of 16 rolls on. We'll see you over on the main stream. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of the OSU and have a great day.